most of you have probably been doing, I've been watching the news and have been amazed at the breadth and depth of stories about Joe Pa. And one of the stories that really kind of caught my eye was one of a player who was talking about when Joe Paterno recruited him. And as he signed the paper, he turned to Joe, and Joe said, "Welcome to the family." You know, family was really important to Joe Paterno. And I think as you see that, you can see that in his immediate family, as his sons have stepped up today and yesterday to talk a little bit about what their dad meant to them, the values that he instilled in their immediate family. And you see in them the same love for Penn State, the same kind of desire to do the right thing, the same graciousness that really Joe brought to Penn State. But Joe meant so much to the family. It's just amazing. And family was important to me because one of the things I noticed when I came here 3 years ago is that I wasn't just joining a university, I really was joining a family. And as I watch today, I realize that we're a family and not just a great university because of Joe Paterno. All of us are here right now and across the country thinking about Joe and what he's meant to this university. And we're doing that because of him, because of the values he's brought, because of the things that he's done for millions and millions of people. We're all here because of Joe Paterno. And I think more than anybody, over 6 decades, Joe has given this university a sense of identity, a sense of purpose, a sense of being that is unlike any other. And tonight we're here to celebrate that. And we're doing that much in the way that he would have wanted us. We're doing that as family. As I watched a lot of you walk in, and some of you are associated with the campus, some of you aren't, it was much like a family. People were giving hugs, saying hello, getting caught up, all because of Joe Paterno. He really was the bond that brought us together. And much as he's been the rock, and I think one of his sons said today, you know, one of the last things, I think someone was telling me, I didn't see this, but he said one of the last things that I said to my father was, "You've made me stronger. You've given me the armor. You can go. I'm here. I'm feeling good. I have the tools I need to succeed." And I think that says the same for all of us. Joe, you've left us in a much better place. You've given us the tools. You've given us the strength. We're ready now. We're going to succeed. It's a big, big family. And that's what we're here to talk to or about tonight. It's about the family we are, about the man Joe was, and about what he's given us and what will remain of him in us for the future.
Sorry, guys. And trying to figure out what I was going to say on behalf of the students, I kind of wanted to think about my memories here so far at Penn State New Kensington, and the people that I've met, encountered, and the things that they've told me about Joe. I know that his spirit is everywhere in Penn State. Joe embodied what we all look to accomplish as Penn State students and as the alumni who are past students here. I've been having a hard time dealing with this. I didn't get to meet Joe before he passed, but I had the pleasure of going to the All-U Day, and we saw him on the field, and the feeling I got when I saw him come from under the tunnel, just it's really indescribable, and he just does that to you. No matter who you are, where you're from, just there's something about Joe that it changes you, and so I know I will deeply miss him, but I'm gonna now read exactly what I wrote. Pearl S. Buck said, "The person who tries to live alone will not succeed as a human being. His heart withers if it does not answer another heart. His mind shrinks away if he hears only the echoes of his own thoughts and finds no other inspiration." Penn Staters were Joe's inspiration. We inspired him to coach our Nittany Lions for 46 seasons. We inspired him to fundraise towards student scholarships. We will all deeply miss the man that has been the face of our university for so many years, and our hearts and our prayers are with his family at this time. Thank you.
For you that don't know me, my name's Ron Bubba Howman. I'm a graduate of this campus back in 1977, and I ran the equipment program for 2 years. And when I went up to main campus, I said, you know what, it'd be really interesting if I could do it with the baseball team, because I did the baseball team here. And Coach Darby got me with the baseball team, and I said, you know what, it'd be interesting if I could do it with the football team. So I have a sister who lived in State College, and she called a friend and everything. Next thing you know, I'm walking in a football locker room at Penn State, and I open the door, and the first person that walks out is Coach Joe. And Joe says, "You're not big enough to be a football player." I said, "No, I'm an equipment manager." He said, "Well, come on in." And 2 years later, I was named head football manager of the 1979 season. So I was assigned to Coach Paterno. And every day for that year, I had to go meet with Joe and talk to him about equipment and players and whatnot and everything. So, and I've been involved with the Penn State football program as a member of Letterman's Club for many years. And I also work on the sideline at Penn State. So I've missed 4 games since 1977, only because my friends got married and I couldn't miss weddings. And I'm also going to miss another one coming up because my godchild's getting married. But I could stand here for hours and tell you stories about Coach Joe and everything. But the two I really want to tell you about is in January of 1982, 2 years after I graduated and everything, I came down with cancer. Later that summer, I was in the hospital going through chemotherapy. And it was late one night, and there was a lot of noise out in the hallway. And I'm thinking, gee, I didn't hear, anyone, code blue or anything. It's like, what's going on? All of a sudden, there was someone standing at my door, and he kind of turned sideways. I said, "Coach, is that you?" He said, "Bubba, can I come in to see you?" He came in, spent about 10 minutes with me. Here I am. I'm just a manager, but managers count also. A couple years later, in 1988, my mother passes away. I get home from work at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:15, my phone rings. I'm outside doing some work. My sister comes out, she's shaking. She goes, "It's him." It's him. Like, "Who are you talking to?" "It's him. It's him." I'm like, "Who's on the phone?" She goes, "It's him." I said, "Who's him?" She says, "Mr. Paterno." I said, "Give me the phone." I could stand here for hours to tell you about Coach Joe because I got 1,000,001 stories in that. But his legacy is awesome. We all know about that. And his true story was to make an impact. So my advice to you, students and alumni, is continue to make that impact. Thank you.
We are here to celebrate his life and what he accomplished to make Penn State what it is today. His loss leaves us a void in our lives that will never be filled. We should not be discouraged by his death, but encouraged by his life. It would be a blessing to impact others the way he did. Joe Paterno elevated Penn State to the prominence during his 46-year tenure as head coach. He won 409 games, 2 national championships, and led the Nittany Lions to 5 undefeated seasons. His success with honor mantra and his players' execution on the football field and in the classroom became the envy of administrations nationwide. Joe Paterno is credited with giving an estimated $4 million to various alumni and university fundraising efforts. In 1984, the family established the Paterno Libraries endowment with gifts totaling $120,000. By 2010, its value had grown to more than $4 million, with a personal donation of $250,000 by the Paterno family. This is just one example of how Joe's generosity and his passion for Penn State, not just Penn State football, but Penn State University as a whole, and his commitment to the Alumni Association was immeasurable. He always supported the Alumni Association and was instrumental in all of our fundraising efforts. As a football season ticket holder for many years, walking into Beaver Stadium will never be the same. Joe will not be on the field, on the sidelines, in the press box, or running through that tunnel. But he will always be in our hearts as we remember all the amazing wins this great man accomplished at Beaver Stadium. His legacy is truly all of us. His deeds are certainly important. The greatest legacy of Joe Paterno is that he has touched the lives of so many people, both on and off the field, in such a positive way. Even if you never met this man before, I am sure everyone here feels like they know him. That is why we're all here today. Like he was one of the family. He has touched all of us in one way or another. He truly was just one of us. Joe Paterno is and will always be Penn State. Rest in peace, Joe. The Alakiski Society and its community of New Kensington will miss you.